Hey, thanks for tuning in to the 5Able channel. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps out a lot. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the clutch slave cylinder on a Vanagon. Mine's a 1985 Wasserboxer 1.9. I've seen a lot of videos or people or posts about pedals that sink to the floor, but my problem is totally the opposite. My pedal is way too firm and it doesn't do anything at all. It doesn't go down. And I was thinking, well, okay, well, it might be the master cylinder for the clutch up under the dash here, or it could be something toward the back. If you have a Vanagon that has a pedal that will not go down, you might want to consider that the piston in the slave cylinder is seized. I got an assistant to sit in the car and press on the pedal a few times while I got in the back underneath the car and tried to feel if the slave was trying to move at all, because I wanted to rule out that there was something with the throwout bearing and the clutch internally that was jammed up. And that was not the case, because when my daughter would press on the pedal, I couldn't feel any movement on the actuator arm that works the throwout bearing. I held on to this area right here just to see if I could feel any movement, and it was absolutely still. Normally it would be pushed down to actuate the clutch, and that led me to believe that the piston inside the cylinder has frozen. So once I figured out that maybe the cylinder is seized, I wanted to be sure before I go to the trouble of ordering a new cylinder and then have it be the master. I went ahead and did a bleed. I was able to bleed the hydraulic fluid from this bleeder right here, and the clutch pedal up front had normal operation, and it moved down to the floor just like you were bleeding air out of the line. And now I'm going to show you how to replace the cylinder. If you go around back of your Vanagon with the engine cover off, mine's a 1.9, so it has these cooling lines, or the coolant lines up here. Look underneath the cooling lines on the 1.9. It's the same location for pretty much all of them. You'll see the slave cylinder right here. There's two bolts. There's one here and one on the other side that hold it in place. The lower head of the bolt that you can see currently right now is pretty difficult to get to, and you're going to have to access it. One way is through this little spot here, down here, because on the other side, coming from the bottom, this bottom plate actually blocks your access. Here's another view of the clutch slave cylinder from underneath. This is the front bolt. Again, the back bolt that's hard to access is behind here. The hydraulic line that comes in, and above that you'll see the fitting for bleeding. It has a little rubber cap on it. The first thing I'm going to do is break this hydraulic line fitting loose. You don't want to have to do it after you've unmounted the slave cylinder from the car. It's easier to do it now than later. There it goes. It's actually better to use a flare nut fitting wrench like this, because it reduces the chance of rounding this off and making it even more difficult to get apart. The next thing we're going to do is break these loose. The bolts are 13 millimeter, so you will need a 13 millimeter for the top and bottom. Now I've got this little stubby 13 up top here, and it's going to hit against the bracket with the ratchet on the bottom. Alright, so there's the nut and the bolt. And it's going to go ahead. There's this beam right here has a bolt in it. I'm going to go ahead and loosen that bolt a little bit just so it'll release the tension there. Come out. So now we're down to one. Just got to get the one on the back side. So to do that, I'm going to try and approach it from the top. So right now we're just going to try and loosen this nut and bolt so we can free off the slave cylinder. This is a 13 millimeter. I think I'll use the open end if possible. Feels like that's on it. Okay, now I've just got my plain old ratchet handle with a standard socket. Oh yeah, okay, that came loose. I did spray this with some penetrating oil a while ago because I figured I might be doing this. Okay. All right, there we go. She's moving. Let's see if it'll work with the deep socket. Now we're making progress. Oh, there we go. So I got a really good clue when the nut came off this bolt, in that the little arm that actuates the throwout bearing had spring tension on it, and it popped the cylinder up, which implies that the piston is frozen inside here and won't move. When I was bleeding the cylinder to do the test of the pedal on the front side, if the piston was moving inside of this slave cylinder, it would have popped on back up and there wouldn't be that tension on this anymore, because when you put it together there's not any tension. Now I have another problem, as the bleeder is jammed up against the top here, and I'm going to have to figure out how to get this whole thing out. I think I'll just take something and hit the bolt. So that's free. And I'm back underneath the car, and we're going to try and get this thing out. First, let's just get this loose. Now I have a plug that I'm going to try to put over this line when I get it free. Alright, so there's that. All it is a piece of tubing with the bolt in the end. And we'll hook it up here. I'm going to go ahead and remove this bracket just to get it out of the way. There we go. Alright. That worked. So I just pulled it real hard. Here's the view from the top with the slave cylinder removed. So now let's put it back in and get the clutch working. I took a wire brush and some PB Blaster to the bolts, the original bolts. These two long ones and nuts are for the slave cylinder, and this one's for the little bracket. They look pretty good, so I'm going to reuse them. I'll put some anti-seize on these two bolts especially, so if I ever have to change the cylinder again, it'll be a little easier to get apart. And then I've also got the new slave cylinder, and I'm going to put a little bit of lithium grease up inside here. This is a little pivot point that pushes on the ball, so I want to get a little bit of lubrication on that. I'll start by putting the lube on this little ball socket. That's probably too much, but that's alright, not going to hurt anything. Since this first bolt is going to be really difficult, I think I'm going to try a little trick that I haven't seen anybody else do. I'm just going to try it, see if it works. Alright, to try and deal with the hard to get to bolt, or the harder to get to bolt, I've taken some sticky tape and put it around my open end wrench and stuck the bolt on it. I may have to like unstick it a little bit and then put it back together. So I'm just going to do like this and get the thing in, feed it in. Alright, and then tilt it down. Alright, so see there, it's in the hole, and I have a wrench on it. But let's just go ahead and put the slave cylinder in and see if we can get a nut on that bolt. Don't forget, when you put the slave cylinder in, to point the port for the hydraulic fitting toward the front of the Vanagon. Let's come in at an angle here. This might be easier from the bottom. I don't know. This is how I'm doing it for right now. Alright, well, seems like it went in. This is where I'm going to take a little bit of anti-seize. I love this stuff, but man, it gets on everything. Anyway, just a little bit. And once you get the little anti-seize on that one, put the cylinder flange over the bolt. And start the nut. And then I'm going to see if I can go ahead and do it all from up top here. Underneath here, you can't really see, but I'm doing it by feel. And now I've got the nut in the other hand, and the bolt is through the hole. And let's see if I can get the nut to start. That will be good. Yep, and the nut has started. All right, so it has been run down. Looks like I missed the hole for the for the pin that pushes, but that's okay. I was able to just lift it up right now, actually, and put it on the little ball tip that sticks up from the lever for the throwout bearing. Since both bolts are in right now, I can go ahead and torque it down. And I have just gotten cut. Somebody who owned this before cut off a hose clamp and left a super sharp edge right there. So let's address this sharp edge that somebody left. I can't stand that kind of thing. All it would have taken was doing this. Alright, at least it's less likely to cut. Back to the task at hand. Let's torque these things down. Okay, that one's good. And we'll see about taking the wrench off our sticky bolt. There we go. Alright, I'm going to remember that trick for next time. Now, I think I'm probably going to have to get underneath. Well, let's just see. I've got a ratchet on the bottom. It seems to be grabbing pretty good. It's a 3/8 13 millimeter socket and one of those little tiny, like 1-inch extensions. And it's really just holding, and now I'm using the wrench to turn the nut on the top. And I'm going to use the box on the end to get the last little torque on. Oh yeah, that's good. Alright, so now let's get underneath and reattach the hydraulic line. And then the only thing left to do will be to get my assistant to help me bleed the air out of the line. Now I'm underneath, and as always, there's something that gets forgotten. And I forgot from the top that I needed to put this bracket back. So, bummer that. I have to take this screw back off. The good news is it's been done once already. Okay, so there. Up. this through the bracket. And we can get the nut started. So I have to say, other than having to crawl underneath here, I think it's easier to do this side from underneath. That other bolt and nut, I definitely think it's easier from the top side. Alright, now we can do what I came underneath here to do, which is put the hydraulic line back. So let's see if we can do that without making a huge mess. Make sure you pull your plug out. And then when I get done with this, I need to bleed it. Wipe it down at least a little bit because we want to be able to check and make sure there aren't any leaks. So now I need to bleed it, get all the air out, and then I should have a clutch again. Alright, I've set up a catch bottle for bleeding this hydraulic line, and my assistant is up front ready to work the pedal. So let's bleed this thing. Pushing. Alright, I'm open.
Almost to the floor.
Closed.
Ready?
Yep.
Pushing.
Open.
Almost to the floor.
Closed.
Okay. Ready? Pushing.
Open.
Almost to the floor.
Closed. Alright, that's good. Go ahead and push and see if you can just, what happens. Just push it
Pushing.
all the way to the floor.
Really hard. Like I don't think I can make it.
Keep going.
Okay, I made it.
Alright, now that is actually working the clutch now. Now let go. And it goes back. Okay, now let's bleed a little more.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Pushing.
Open.
Almost to the floor.
Closed.
Ready? Pushing.
Open.
Almost to the floor.
Closed. Alright, it should be closed now for good. And I need you to push on that clutch pedal again, just like you did.
All the way down?
Yep. And I want to show this. You can see right here the clutch is going to actuate.
Ready?
Go for it. All the way to the floor.
I'm trying. There we go.
Good deal. So now that the clutch seems to be working, that kind of confirms that it was a slave cylinder that was bad, and that this replacement fixed it. So if you have a very hard pedal that you can't move, you might want to check this before you go into the trouble of changing out the master cylinder. And remember, if it's worthy of a high five, it's 5-able. Thanks for tuning in to the 5-able channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. 0101 1010.